Hi all, welcome to Java Talent. In today's video, I'm going to cover how we can develop a project in Spring Boot application for file uploading or file downloading. So in this tutorial, I'm going to cover you can upload the PDF file as well as JPG file, PNG file. And for the front-end technology, I'm going to use Thymeleaf. So let's start. So first of all, we'll have to create the simple Spring Boot project. So here, Spring Starter project, I'm going to select and I'm going to give details as name, Spring Boot file, upload and download. So this is the project name and the type is Maven, jar, and the version of Java is 11. I'm going to use file upload and download example and all. And here I'm going to select the 2.7.8 version or any version you can select. So I'm going to add some dependency. So let's add some dependency. So first dependency I'm going to use is Spring Web dependency. And you can search here as well. So Spring Web. So you can select from list of the given. And then the second one I'm going to use is Spring Data JPA. Spring Data JPA. So I'm going to use Data JPA as well. And I'm going to use the database as MySQL. So MySQL driver I'm going to add. And for the front-end technology, I'm going to use Thymeleaf. So here I'm going to use the Thymeleaf. And then the next one is Lombok API. So basically, Lombok is nothing but it will be a very interesting tools which will be going to give you the details like constructor, and then getter and setter. So you just needs to annotate at top of the that ID or field, and then it will generate your code. Means we don't need to write the getter and setter code within the applications. So let's finish this. Okay, so our project is importing here. And here I'm going to work as the MySQL. So your workbench will be ready. You should need to download the MySQL driver in your machine, and then you can install this MySQL workbench for the front end. Like UI thing means we do not need to go with the command line. We can just directly work with the workbench. So in this one, I'm going to create one schema. If you right click on this one and create a schema, here I'm going to create one schema for this project. So Java Talent, I'm going to hit and apply. So it will create a schema for you. And this schema I am going to use in my example today. So here if you see there is no any tables in this schema, but template is ready. So I'm going to use this schema for the today's session. So I hope it is downloading my source code and all. So let's see if our package is coming. Okay, fine. So default package is came here, and if you will see this spawn.xml file, you must probably see all the dependency whatever you have added, like Spring Starter JPA and Thymeleaf web dependency we have added, MySQL, and the Lombok API. So additionally, you can add the DevTools dependency as well. So without rerunning your project, it will automatically rerun once you are going to do any modification in your project. So let's see. Otherwise, I will add that one as well. So let me start. Like I've already created the database schema as Java Talent here, and then I will give some properties configurations for that database. So you need to go to this resources packages and application dot properties. Actually, I'm going to use the different port for this application. So I'm going to provide this server dot port 8081 because my 8080 is already using some Oracle and all. So you can give your port number, any number which you want. to run this application on that particular port. And next one is database configurations. I am going to provide here as the properties file. So the first database configurations will be a string data source dot URL, data source dot URL to work with the MySQL. So the property will be JDBC colon MySQL colon / localhost colon 3306 slash, this is my schema name, Java talent. So you can use your schema name here for this value. And the next is spring dot data source dot driver class name. It will be com dot mysql dot cj dot jdbc dot driver, and username spring dot data source dot username. So my username and password is same, so I can use this value dot password. So in my system, the root is the username and root is the password for my SQL database. So you can use your specific username and password here. And then platform dialect we need to configure spring dot 1 minute. Okay, so spring dot for dialect actually spring dot JPA dot database platform, JPA dot database platform here. So it will be org dot hibernate dot dialect dot MySQL 8 dialect, and spring dot JPA dot generate DDL true, and spring dot JPA dot hibernate dot DDL auto update. Let me write, then I will describe one by one. And for the multi-part configurations, multi-part, because I'm going to use the multi-part here, so that configuration also needs to be done here. So spring dot servlet dot multi-part enable true, spring dot servlet dot multi-part file size threshold. So that is the limit. What is the disk limit like that? So file size is 2 KB. I'm going to give here. Threshold is equal to 2 KB. And then spring dot servlet dot multi-part max file size. Maximum file size, I'm going to take it as 200 MB. You can take your own size. And then max request size, maxed request size. Here I'm going to take it as 215 MB. So this is the configurations. Let me describe. So DDL auto, the first one is I have used here DDL auto update. So basically it has been set as update, you can check whatever the value is there. So there is the multiple value, create, drop, non, update. So why I am going to use update? Because whatever the changes we will do, that will be reflected in the schema. Whatever the schema we are going to use, that will reflect. And URL, you know that for the database connections, whatever the database we are going to use. So this is the MySQL URL and driver class name. And so SQL, if you want to show your query, so you can use so SQL as true. Okay, so let me add that one as well, so that you will show your SQL which is running on the console. JPA dot so SQL. So if I am going to execute any query, that will be shown on the console panel. And dialect, to work with the which dialect I am going to use, that dialect here it will be used. And then the like this one, like generate DDL true, it is the format SQL queries. And I think here you know that multi-part enable is like what is the how we can enable the multi-part features in our application. And maximum file size threshold, it will be used to maximum size of the file. After the threshold size, the file will be written to the disk. And then the maximum file size and the request size. So this is the properties which I wanted to use in this project. So now let's start and create the model class. So before of the model class, let me create the package com.java talent dot model, whatever the package you wanted. So I am using the model as the package, and here class will be, I am going to take the employee class as an example for the model class. So let me go through one by one. So first, like field private long ID, private string profile picture, private long size of that picture, and then private byte of array content, what that content is, to show on the EY basically. And here I need to annotate this class as entity to make this class as the entity class. And then I need to provide the table name. If you want to make the your model class as the same name, so you do not need to write this table, it will automatically, and if you write just the annotation and the table, it will automatically pick this model class and create the table for you. Otherwise, if you want to change the name of that particular table, so here you can provide the value, like I wanted to use the employee same only. If you want to give other name here, employee details or something like that, so that will be your table within your database. And here I'm going with the Lombok API. So in place of writing setter and getter, I am preferring here using the annotations setter getter to generate all constructor API, like all constructor, and that all ARGS constructor and no argument constructor, like this. So I'm not going to write this logic in this class within. So that will be very useful if you are going to use the Lombok API. So now see a few, let me basically see, there is no any schema. If you want to see here, Java talent schema we have created, but table is not created. So let me run this project so that this table will get created. I just wanted to give you the schema of that particular table in your database. So let me just run quickly this example. So it will generate table for you. Okay, so we are getting exception. Entity manager factory defined the class path resource and location of init method failed nested exceptions. No identifier specified. Okay, so we need to specify some annotations for the ID and all. So let me clarify that as well. So here, because it is saying that we have not given the any ID value. So here I need to write this as the primary key for the ID, and I need to use some generated value and a strategy for that. What strategy and I'm going to use? So let's see. A strategy I'm going to follow is generation type dot identity. So it indicates that the persistence provider must assign the primary keys for this database value. So now let's run. See, I think there is no problem. It is my application is running, and yeah, if you are able to see your screen console panel here, so see Hibernate, it is generating the some query, create table employee this value, auto increment content. Here it is teeny blob. So teeny blob will be very small particular blob object which will be going to store your images or file. So basically that I just wanted to show you here. Okay, so go to the database, see your schema, Java talent. Now we have the table. Just right click and alter that table because this teeny blob will not going to store much information. So just change this teeny blob to medium blob and apply. It will store some more size of your value. Otherwise, you will get the exceptions due to that size issue. So we don't have any value in this table. Select see, but our table is ready. So let's stop for now and go ahead. Okay. So our model class is ready. Now we need to create the repository class. So let me create one package com.javatalent.repo and then create the repository class. So I'm going to use the JPA repository help of the JPA repository here. So I need to create the interface basically. So let me create the interface employee repo or employee repository which extends the JPA repository. So let me extend JPA repository. So here the type will be our model class type, that means employee, and ID will be type of the ID whatever we are going to use. So we have taken as long. So here that will be long. So our repository class is ready. So the next is service layer. So here create the methods of to save the employee information and retrieve this employee information and to get the employee information by ID. So let me create that package for the service layer com.javatalent.service. Then I will create the service class employee service. So to make this class as the service, we need to annotate this class as @service, and then I need to auto wire the employee repository here. Private employee repository we need to auto wire. Okay. Now I am going to create the method. So first method will be public employee create employee. So this will take the value as employee object, and here it will return the created employee. Return repository dot save of that particular entity, that means employee. Okay. The second method will be to get all employee. So public list of employee get all employee here. So let me import the package. So it will return the list of employee. So return repository dot find all method is there to return all the record. And next method I am going to take it as public optional API employee find employee by ID. The value will be repository dot find by ID of, not this ID, find by ID of, okay, 1 second. So find employee by ID. So here I will need to pass the ID basically. So the ID is long ID, and that ID I will need to take here. Okay, and here it needs to be return repository dot find by ID of ID. So our service layer is ready. Okay, then we need to create the controller. So create the package first, com dot java talent dot controller, and here the class will be employee controller. So our class is controller. I need to annotate this class with @controller class to make this as controller class, and here I need to auto wire the service class, private employee service of service. Here auto wire that service class. Okay, so now here we need to create our actual endpoint to make a call. So let me create one default method. One method is there. So public string for the home class, home page. So I'm going to take that model and model. Okay. So it will list out the employee employee list is equal to service dot get all employee. So once this page will be land, all employee will be listed if there is any employee. And then what model attribute I am going to use? Model dot add attribute. Which attribute? This list. list, and I wanted to return this home page. So I'm going to create one index.html home page. So that will be our home page for this assignment. So now next method I am going to create for the update upload one, like file upload. And this method I'm going to give as the @get mapping, and then the URI will be slash only to return all your list of the employee, whatever they are in the database. And then the post all I'm going to do is for upload the images and file, public string file upload. Here @request mapping of what we need to pass it as file, file multi-part file, basically multi-part multi-part file of file, and then model. Okay, so now I need to create the object of that employee class. Employee is equal to new employee, string file name is equal to file dot get original file name, whatever the file name is there that I will pick up, and then employee dot set profile picture, set profile picture, that file name, same file name I'm going to set that as the value, and then employee dot set content of file dot get bytes. Then this size, employee dot set size of file dot get size, and then along with this information I will call the service dot create employee of the employee. Now what I will going to do is model dot add attribute. I will give the success scenario, that the success scenario, like my message of the file uploaded successfully. This is the message I'm going to provide here. And then same page I will going to return. And that's same page I will go to return. So our file upload is ready. @request, why this is giving error? Oh, sorry, I have written request mapping. Request param will be there. So it will be a request param, not the request mapping. And then here set content is equal to, why this is giving a file dot set content file dot get bytes. Why it is coming like that? Let me see. File dot get bytes. Okay. Okay. It is asking to throw the exceptions. So I have exceptions. So let me throw that exceptions. Simply throws that exception. And here I will going to use it post mapping, and URI will be slash upload. Okay, so next one is like downloads file, public void download file method is here at the rate param. I'm going to pick up that from the at the rate value param, like whatever I'm going to provide with based on the ID, I will going to pick long ID multi-part multi-part file. Once again, download file at the rate param of ID long ID, and then sorry, model class model HTTP servlet response. So basically servlet response response. So this will also throw an exception. So let me close the same exception. Throw IO exception, and then here optional employee of temp is equal to service dot find by ID of that ID. Okay. The next one is if temp is not equal to temp is not equal to 0, actually null here. If it is not null, then I'm going to create the option employee is equal to temp dot that value, basically temp dot get temp dot get that particular value, and then response dot set content type. It will be application slash octet value octet dot stream. String header key value. Header key is equal to, I'm going to provide some value content hyphen disposition, and string value header value attachment attachment, and that file name. File name here employee dot get profile picture. So I'm going to set that as the header value, that profile picture only, and response dot set header key and that value along with the response. Servlet output stream, output stream, response dot get output stream, output stream dot write employee dot get content, and then output stream dot close. I'm closing the stream, and here I'm going to make it as get mapping of download file, and then I'm going to make one more URI for the images which I wanted to show on the UI pattern. So let me first write and complete the code, then I will demonstrate. Public void show image. What image there in the stored in the database, that image I will going to show here. At the rate param of id long id http servlet response response, then optional employee, optional employee, that is employee, employee. These are all the parameters I'm going to pass. So employee is equal to service dot find employee by id, that id, then response dot set content type. So what the content type I'm going to use here, I will pass it as like image plus jpg, image plus jpg, image slash png, image slash gif, image slash pdf, whatever the format. Then response dot get output stream dot here dot write employee dot get content. One second. Employee dot get content. So that content I am just going to get it here. So it will throw an exception. So let me close that exception here. Response dot get output stream dot close. Finally, close the stream. Here, the mapping will be get mapping basically. What that is image. It will be going to use in the Thymeleaf content. Whatever the front end I'm going to decide that I'm going to use. So let me describe controller what I have created here. So basically, if you see uploading file to the database, so this will be used. So first inside the home method, like whatever the method we have given, like here. So first method, this one is home method. It gets the list of the student, list of the employee, all the employee here from the database and display it on the index.html page, what I will going to create as the Thymeleaf. And then it will map all the requests to this slash upload request to the file upload method, and inside it get the file using the multipart, this value, and that file it retrieves such as the information like file name, file size, etc. Here we are setting that, and they set the fields to this employee entity and call the create employee of the service class. So here create employee of the service class I'm going to call here. And then for the downloading of the file, it will map call, it will the get call here, get mapping of that call, download file. So what it will do is it will get this method download file. Inside it, it will first get the ID of the employee, this one. And if here it is, if it is not null, that means the value is not null, then it will contain the disposition for the response header, whatever the response it is coming, and then it will set the content type as application hyphen octet.string, and then from the display the file from the database for as an image here in the third method. So image, this will be a get call, and this will be get the first get the ID of that particular employee here, and that will be the content type. Whatever the content type I am going to upload here, this will be utilized. So let me create the front page of this application. So within the templates, you can create your HTML file. So that is nothing but index.html. Why I am creating index.html? Because I have written here. If you see, whatever the view I am going to return from this one here, index. So for that reason, I'm going to use this index.html file. So I have ready my Thymeleaf code. One second, let me take that. So this is the Thymeleaf code. First, let me copy it, paste it into this index.html, and then I will describe. So this is the header sections, you know that, and here it is the title of that page, and this is the link to call the bootstrap applications. I'm going to use this on bootstrap as the CSS, and then coming to this part. So this div sections from the body one, I'm going to use the color background color as teal, and then let me go slowly so that you can get a clear picture. So this is the front end tag which is going to contain the this is the header section, just one message I'm going to print on the HTML page, and this is the card. Actually, if you see the details, go through the Thymeleaf card and you will get the clear picture what is this here. I'm using this class for the header sections, and that if it is success, this is the button I'm going to use. If it will be a hit, then it will call the upload section. This one action will be ts.action, Thymeleaf.action. What action will be? This will call this slash upload from the controller slash upload here. This call will make a details to the post method. And then the encryption's type is multi-part of form data. And the control will go to the form control file, file type, and form type. And then it will upload this button. So button is I'm using a button.success. So let me see the picture, and this will be list out all your images. So first it will take the download file. It will download that. It will generate one simple attribute to download the file. Whatever the file, it will list out from this one, this value, ID value, and then we can download it with this help of this href. So there is the href I have provided here, and there is the source image to generate the picture. Same picture I am pointing on the HTML page, means from the view page. So let me run this project so that you will get a clear picture. Just right click and run as a Spring Boot application and see. We have taken the port as 8080 and there is no any context path. So let me hit this local one, localhost 8080, 8081. So see, our application is running. You can see from the console. So see, first what it has done, we have already created the picture. I have already demonstrated it by running one applications, how it has generated. And the same application I am going to use from the same database schema. So now this time, once the page is coming as the slash, use one. So first, whenever what we have given is controller class. So see the controller first. So from this one, this is the slash endpoint. By default, it will call the index page. By pointing out whatever the list available in the database, it will get all employee by default with this slash URLs. So what we have given is slash, nothing but slash only. So it will populate it, but there is no any list, there is no any record within the table. Let me show you that table. So see, there is no any record in this table. For that reason, it is not listing out any record here. So let me choose file for uploading here. So I'm just taken as the file. So let me create this pic.jpg file. It has been saying that file upload. So let me upload. See, file uploaded successfully. So the database. See, ID1, content is block, profile picture, pic.jpg, whatever the name we have taken, same as it is stored, and the size of that picture. So next one is, let's show next file. Choose the next file. This one. 1 second. So it has been uploaded. So hit this same endpoint /1. See, this time you are getting one record because in the database one record is there. So that record is populating with this slash URL. See, this is nothing but slash URL. And here download link will be populating. If you see in the downside here, localhost 8080 / download file of question mark ID is equal to 1. This is nothing but the your database ID value. This one, this value. With the same ID, it is asking to download that file. So once you will click on this one, it will download file for you locally with the same name, pic.jpg. And here it is showing the size of that file. So let me upload one more file. And this time I'm going to use this PNG file. Upload it, upload, file uploaded successfully. So once it will hit this same URL, and next time you will see this both the picture whatever stored in this database. Hit this one. See, it is coming. Now if you want to download, this will download that file. So 2.png, and see the code of this view. See, here what I have given is href to download that file and / download file of that ID with the same name, and this is the class I'm using to the functionality of that class, that download. And here this div section is for source file, ts table header of the source file, image / id, same id populating in this this value, correct. And pic.jpg, same file name I am picking up here. See, div This div is holding that information. MP list dot profile picture, same name, and then MP list dot size, whatever the size. So that is populating over here. This one is employee list dot profile picture, and this one is employee list dot size. So that is completed. So this is what I just wanted to cover in the today's session. So thanks for your time. Please subscribe my channel and like my video for further update. Thank you so much.